Hello guys, this is FortDefender, and welcome back to another Pokemon video. Guys, I didn't want to be making this video, but I think it needs to be addressed. As a Pokemon Go player, I love this community, but right now, there's quite a bit of an issue with how Niantic is hearing us players with our feedback, and I don't know, I feel like this video really needed to be made. I had a video I was really hyped with putting here today, in this time slot, but I think this is more important right now, so let's jump into it. If you're in the Pokemon Go gaming community and you haven't figured it out already, right now I'm talking about the bonuses that were introduced during the beginning of the pandemic everywhere, and one of these bonuses was recently removed, and it made quite a huge deal, and that was the decreased distance for Pokestops and for gyms. And it just changes the game so much in a way that it makes it really hard to play. And it's paired with other factors that makes it worse and worse. And I'm going to go into those, and then I'm going to also cover major things in the game that need to be fixed and offer solutions. Niantic, if you're hearing me, I'm going to give you solutions. And I know it's not even just the employees, it needs to be someone higher up. And who knows if you even see this video, but I think it needs to be made. So the first thing is, with the Pokestops and gyms reduced, looking at this, if we were not in this situation and everything was 100% normal, I'm going to give an unpopular opinion here and say that the Pokestops were a little bit justified. But keep in mind, I said if everything was completely normal, which is it is not currently. So I don't think this is completely reasonable at all for the Pokestops. For the gyms, even if it was normal, I don't think you ever change that, because the amount of people that can be in within a space, it makes it way too complicated when you're trying to do raids, and you need a lot of people for a raid. You got like 20 people. You want to be more spaced out, especially during this time, so I think that's something that should never change. And something that makes me a little bit angry with this is I saw it right off the bat how close you have to be, and to me, with the introduction of remote raid passes, this just seems like a money grab to me to make you use remote passes, because you have to be so close, or if you don't feel comfortable going so close to people, you have to use the remote passes to get into the gym, or get a remote invite to that raid to get into the gym. So it just seems like a money-making scheme in a way. I don't know if that was intended or not, but I would ask that it's better explained what they're trying to do there. And the correlation does not seem to go well, because they did not remove the increased damage in remote raids, so it seems to be more based on money than health, unfortunately. I wish they would come out and explain what they're doing to prove otherwise, but unfortunately those connections there, that's what I'm seeing. I hate to say it that way, but yeah. Then the other change is with gifts and it being reduced, Pokeballs being reduced, all of that, which makes the Pokestop decrease that much worse, because you're going to have to go to more Pokestops now, be closer to things, spend more time, more effort, getting the same amount of stuff you got before, which severely ruins the game, because if you don't have the same amount of time as before, then you are out of luck, because with the Pokeballs, that was a major method for XP, for catching stuff, for getting shinies, for getting dust, and that was really fun. But now that's been reduced, which cuts down on how fun the game is and the experience that you get, especially on communities, and how to maximize stuff. And if you don't have the greatest storage, it hits really hard when you take everything into account. Now, that is one issue in its own. There are a couple other issues I want to talk about here, and I'm going to go over range trading, lucky trading, gift issues, mega change, the hackers and spoofers, and then GBL. I want to cover all those things and present the problem and offer a solution. So let's get into that. Remote trading. Right now, I think it's more important than ever to have more remote trading events, just because it allows you to trade with more people. It gives you a wider variety. And I know in the spirit of the game you are supposed to go and meet up with people, but sometimes you're still meeting up with them, but you need to be a little bit more distant, safer, and I think that having that, or at least having a little bit of a bonus always, would be a really good decision, at least until things are back to normal. I think that it'd be really cool to have friendship trading events where you do have the range for as long as this game continues. As for lucky trades, I've heard this one a lot. It's, I can't trade with my friend. They're across the world. I can't communicate with them. I don't know what to do. I can't trade with them. I can't see them. I can't meet with them. And I think that with lucky trades, you should have a global trade range. And there should be some sort of a notification system that says so-and-so is in the trade and wants to do a lucky trade, that we could hop in, and knowing that lucky trades would be global at that point, you could just figure it out by putting Pokemon in. Maybe have some way of communicating. If you can't do it in the game, maybe some way to communicate Discord numbers or something like that, because that is the main communication way right now. But I think that that's something that needs to be addressed, because I've seen so many people talk about it and be upset with it. Then also, I think that the megas need to be changed in a way, because again, it seems like a money grab to make people do raids, which I do not like. I think for the megas, spending a few raid passes is fine. I think it should cost more, maybe even double, to mega evolve. But then once you mega evolve, you have that unlocked, and you can do it whenever you want. And you could just do it, and it lasts for whatever, 8 hours, but then it has a cooldown of 12 to 24 hours. I think that's perfectly reasonable, because you get the same amount of time, and you don't have to keep doing raids, which is the part that seems like a money grab. If you are like, oh, I only have to do X number of raids to get it permanently, that's fair. I would be fine with that. I don't know how many others would be, but it seems like a way better solution than having to constantly raid to get enough energy to be able to use it for Mega Evolution. Yes, there are researches, but they're far and few between, especially when you are in a small town or a rural area where you can't even get to Pokestops for that research, and you have to do the raids to even walk with them to get the energy, which then you spend it, so you have to do more walking and spends more energy, and sometimes we just want to have fun buddies, not just keep grinding out mega energy. So, I don't know, that seems like an issue to me. I kind of wish that would be handled a little bit differently. Now for the gift issue, it takes so long to open gifts, send gifts. It's a whole routine, and there used to be a big bonus to it. 100,000, lucky like 200,000, that's a lot of XP. That's fantastic, but now with the raids being heavily influenced to be the big way of getting XP, and with catching events allowing you to get 4 times the XP, or lucky eggs that allow you to get even more of that, like 8 times that catch XP, you can get, essentially, in 10 Pokemon what you could have gotten in a couple months of friendship. So there's no longer that incentive. And gifts are a great way to get people afloat with Pokeballs, especially if they're in that rural setting. So I don't see why you decrease it at all with the drops, the amount you can open, any of that. I don't think that that's a good decision. I also think there should be a way to hold and select friends, and then hit a button that opens all of them at once, or select and hold and send them all a gift at once, and then you get like an error message or something if you can't open a gift there, or your bag's full, or they already have a gift. Have it do it that way. I think that would be a lot easier, a lot faster, and make the game a little bit more fun. And then maybe you just get to see what you got all at once. It just combines it all into one thing, and you get a little screen that shows you all of the items that you've got pulled up, and you get to see that some way with a little bit of a graphic. I just think that that would make the game flow better, because I remember GoFest 2020, we were opening gifts for rare candies, which was glitched out, by the way, for most of the thing. But then once we got towards the end, you're just trying to click through as fast as possible. You're not catching anything. You're just trying to open every gift as fast as possible, and it was greatly influenced by the number of friends you had, the amount of gifts you got, and how fast people are sending them to you. I just think with this, it would make things flow a little bit better. Another issue is the spoofers in Pokemon Go and resulting bans. And some people are getting unfairly banned, and some people that should be banned aren't banned because they're spoofing, and you can clearly see that there's an interest with people wanting to spoof, and I don't see, I'm not an expert, but I don't see how you can duplicate the server and then make a game called Pokemon Go Remote and make it an official game. Pokemon Go Remote, and make it like on the computer or something like that, like a browser game, and people would still spend money there, but they're two separate servers. You have Pokemon Go and Pokemon Go Remote, and Pokemon Go Remote would still bring you in revenue because the people that are spoofers, they still do raids. They like teleporting all over to do raids, spending money still. It's still a revenue source, so I don't see why you couldn't just divide it and stop people from spoofing in Pokemon Go, make that more fun, and give something for the spoofers to do correctly and still spend money, which gets you more money. I don't see how that could be a problem. So I don't know. I mean, that sounds like a solution to me. Hopefully that is something that could be looked into as a way to fix this problem. And the last problem I want to talk about is GBL. I think that the GBL is a cool concept with so many good points, but so many bad things about it that makes it hard to work with. Unfortunately, there's so many aspects that need to be improved. I think that there needs to be a major compensation to the players that play, especially based on your rank and your ratings in the past, and then it needs to be shut down and fixed. I'm serious. It needs to be shut down and fixed and thought out better, but with a plan before it's shut down to make sure it's done properly with a time schedule. Tell the players, this is the date. We're closing it then. It's going to be back then. Here's your compensation. We promise it'll be done by then, and fulfill that promise. That's the way I see it working. Give the players, like, I don't know, $1 million dust, because that's a great way to get Stardust, and if you take that away, there needs to be some compensation. Give them like 2 of each elite TM or something like that, or leave it down for an entire season and then do like $1 million and then 1 of each, like you made it, or based on your ratings in the past. Because I'm not the best player in the GBL, but I'm pretty high up there, and I just find it frustrating. I only really do it for the dust. There's not excitement with it. I don't do it for fun. I do it for the dust and for the rewards, and it's kind of just there. I see it as a way of getting items in the game, like catching a bunch of Pokemon for Stardust. At a point, it doesn't really get fun anymore. It's just a way to get resources in the game, which I think is something that should be fixed. So I would hope that this video gets out there, somebody hears it, and makes some difference, a little bit of a difference. Maybe somebody else hears it, puts it on a bigger channel with their ideas tossed in there, and somehow we get this fixed. But I'm really sad that we're losing the community I love. So please, guys, I hope you listen. Thanks for watching.